All righty.
Vic, did you have any inkling that Zadarius was thinking about stepping away? And what was your reaction, and how do you feel those snaps?
No, I didn't. I was surprised when Howie came in and told me yesterday, I guess it was. But you always respect guys' decisions, personal decisions, and guy had a great career. Did fine when he was here with us. He's good to be around, and wish him the best. Takes strength to do that, and respect it.
How concerned are you with what you have there? I mean, he was playing about, I guess, 20, 25 snaps.
Yeah, we'll have to absorb those snaps up with the rest of the guys, and we'll make it work.
Is that a position where you think you need more?
Well, I think you always want more at any position. We have guys in the building that could fulfill it.
Has Brandon Graham been discussed as a possibility to come back?
Not to my knowledge.
Patrick Johnson came in and played 20-some snaps and had a sack. I mean, could he be one of those guys? How does he look?
Yeah, he definitely would be one of those guys for sure.
I've asked this question about 7 times already, but now your hand might be a little forced. Is it possible Jihad could get some edge snaps?
It's possible. He's been getting edge snaps, in certain ways we align.
Antoine Powell, Ryland, have you
As
seen?
far as Nakobe,
I'd start again.
Nakobe, as far as potentially, does that, if he's healthy, if he's ready to go, does that make it a little bit easier to give Jihad and even Zach some snaps on the edge?
It does.
Do you look at that as you want your best 11 players on the field at all time, and that Nakobe obviously was one of those best 11 last year? Does that come into play at all when you're looking at that?
It does and it doesn't. Really what you want is your best combination. It's kind of like, when you're talking about the offensive line, if your 6th best offensive lineman is a guard, then your center goes down and he can't play center, or your tackle goes down and he can't play tackle. Do you go with I want my 5 best out there, or your best combination? So it's both.
Did that when you drafted Jihad, did that combination intrigue? Obviously, you knew at the time that Nakobe had a ways to go, but did that combination intrigue you a lot?
Obviously we know he has the versatility to potentially be out there. All of his work has been at inside, other than the packages where we move him up. At that time, not really, because we knew Nakobe was going to miss a good part of the season.
Vic, what happened against the Giants?
I didn't coach him up well enough. My calls weren't good enough, and we had trouble with him.
One thing a few players said was that they felt like the Giants were the more physical team. How do you get the physicality back in the defense?
Well, the most physical, I don't know if that was true. It certainly was on the last drive. But, we just didn't rush well enough. We had a hard time with the quarterback, obviously. We had a hard time covering, and my calls weren't good enough to cover up those.
When did you find out that Jalen Carter wasn't playing?
About when you guys did.
So why? So how did that affect the game plan?
Well, we knew it was a possibility he wouldn't play. So, it doesn't affect the game plan a whole lot. It's just got to be the next guy that goes.
What's your concern level over the cornerback spot right now?
Well, we've got to settle in and find somebody out there that we can rely on. And I think we have the guys that can do that. We just got to get them playing better.
Why do you think Keeley struggled against the Giants? What did you say?
He just got beat, down the field.
And with that in-game change, either of them, which are you going with at this point, Adore or Keeley?
Right now probably would be Adore, the way we were going to do it in the game. And then when Q went down, we played them both.
Victor, as far as the run defense goes, not just in New York, but it's been kind of an issue, I think, the last couple of weeks. What are you seeing there that is making it so problematic to stop the run?
Yeah, we've had a hard time with the quarterback scrambling and running. That's made the stats, worse than they are. We just have to play better. I got to call better defenses.
How do you go about potentially preparing for two different quarterbacks this weekend?
They are similar. They're both athletic. They both do a good job running this offense. This is a good offense we're going against. It's a good scheme. It's packaged well together. They do a good job of calling plays. It's a tough offense.
The Adoree play by the goal line, how do you normally go about sort of correcting that, make sure that?
Which play was that?
That was the Scatabo run where looked like you didn't attempt to wrap.
Yeah, at the goal line, you got to sell out because, you're not trying to let him fall forward because, every inch is valuable down there. So he's, just got to sell out and try and go get the guy down.
How do you think Drew Makuba sort of handled things, and is that just part of the learning process when you have maybe a couple hiccups tackling on the back end?
Yeah, he's just got to clean up his operation, be sharp, know that every play could be the most important play in the game, and I'm confident he'll be able to do that.
Tyron got 19 snaps, I think it was, first reps on defense. How do you think he did? I know he had the block pass at the line.
Yeah, for his first meaningful snaps, I thought he did fine.
Are you expecting Q to play this week?
That remains to be seen.
If he's to miss extended time, what's the approach there at that position?
You guys know who, we got. It'll be like it was the other night.
Vic, has Antoine Powell-Ryland shown you anything in practice to make you think maybe he could be in the mix?
He's been in and out of here on the practice squad. He's been doing a good job on scout team. Right now, we would go with the other guys first.
The amount of snaps that you guys have been playing on defense, are you seeing a cumulative effect of that?
No.
Where do you think Mac McWilliams is as potentially, if Q has to miss some time, as potentially somebody who could get involved?
Yeah, potentially could get involved. We've been trying to focus him at one point on learning the nickel spot to be the backup nickel. Then we shifted our focus to try and get him to learn corner and be a viable option if we had issues out there. So it's kind of been going back and forth. And
Doing outside?
he's doing okay.
Good.
Good. I think he's a good young player who's improving all the time. And we're happy to have him. I think he's playing good overall.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Vic.
Good.